Hello and welcome to another Web Manager demonstration, and this one we're going to show you how to use select boxes in your forms. So I've got this form in this page here, so I've just clicked on the form element and now I'm going to select options, which is going to bring a select box into my page. So let's click on that. Now I'm going to click on the little container that it brought into the page, and then whilst it's highlighted I'm going to go to Properties, Position, Relative. Now I don't want it underneath the submit button, so I'm just going to use these arrows to nudge it back up above. So that's quite a handy little feature to change the order when you've got things positioned relatively. Now this is just for demonstration, but obviously we need to think of something fairly realistic that we might use a select box for. So for example, where did you hear about us? Let's ask that one. Where did you hear about us? Just drag that to the left so we get it all on one line. Okay, now line that with the other boxes. Now I've highlighted the select box there. I'm just going to adjust the size a little bit, and whilst it's highlighted I'm going to click Properties and I'm going to give it a value, sorry, a name rather than a value, and the name's going to be heard about us, all one word. And I'm going to make this field, I'm going to, for demonstration actually, I'm not going to make it required. I'll make it required later and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so now click Properties again. Let's go to HTML, which is this option here, and in here we're going to enter the values and how we display the values. So we're going to show you what gets passed from the form to in the email or to the database or whatever, wherever the form's sending its results, and we're going to show you how to display what the user actually sees in the select box. So first of all, let's enter none as a value. There's no value there, and then let's enter please select. So now we've got the value, which is none, and then we've got the word, or the words, which is please select, and we finish that off with a semicolon. So next off we want to think of somewhere where they may have heard of us, which is probably Google. So let's enter Google as the value, and then put the dash in between, and we enter Google as the name or the word. So that's what gets displayed in the select box. So let's finish that off with a semicolon, and then let's put yellow pages. So we want to shorten that, so we just put yell, and we put dash, and we put yellow pages, and we finish that off again with a semicolon. And then next we want to put, for a joke, let's put TV. Unlikely at this stage, but who knows, maybe in the future. TV dash television ad. And then let's finish that off with a colon. Right, let's keep that short. Obviously there's many more options we could put in there, but this is just for demonstration, so let's just click apply on that. Now you can see select box has now added those values for the user to choose from. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I'm going to click save, and I'm going to go to this link here, view live site. I'm going to right click on that and select to open it in a new tab. So open link in new tab. Okay, so that's our form. We can adjust the size of the words. We'll show that in a later tutorial, but that's what it looks like for the moment. Let's put Lawrence in there. Lawrence at webwam.co.uk, and then let's put Google there and click submit. This has been set up to redirect us to our new home page. Obviously we could put like a follow-up page. I've just set that in the settings that once the form is submitted it takes us to our home page, but that's a variable. You can send it wherever you like. So let's just check my email here. Okay, so I've got a couple of emails, and this is the one we're interested in. We've got Lawrence at webwam.co.uk and Google, so you can see where it's passed the value Google, where I selected Google from the select box, and obviously I gave that field a name of Heard About Us. So that makes sense to me, but obviously you need to make sure that these values and the names of your fields are something that makes sense to you. So when you receive the email, it's not going to be a big kerfuffle working out exactly what the user was saying. Okay, so let's go back to the web page. Now, at the moment, if I go back there, if I click submit, the only two required fields are these ones. Now, I can go in here and I can make this required quite simply by going properties, clicking required, and then clicking apply. Let's save that. I'll refresh this one. Now I'm just going to put test. I'm not going to select a value because I want to show you what happens if I leave that as please select. It sees it as required. It recognises the value that we've entered here is none, so it does recognise that that doesn't equal anything, so the user hasn't selected a value to be passed through the form. So that's why it's important. I think it's important to have please select always at the top of your form, at the top of your select box, because otherwise if it has, say for example we started the first option with Google, someone might ignore the question and leave it marked as Google, which leads me to believe that they found out about us through Google, when in actual fact they haven't answered the question. So for certain things that could be very important. So I always start select boxes with please select and give it a value of none or 0, or just leave. You could leave it blank and it would still, when making that field required, it would still flag up and tell the user to select a value from the list. Okay, so I hope that's made sense. That's probably one of the more complicated areas of filling out of creating a form is building select boxes, and there's more complex things we can do with select boxes, which we'll go into as we develop our tutorials and as we develop the web manager. Okay, so thanks for watching.